Hey guys, it's Jada Cakes, and I guess this is the title screen for this game. I'm not sure. But this game is called Interview with the Whisperer. I don't know what this is about. Let's get started. What would you say to guys should you have the chance to speak to them? Nah, too easy. God used to speak to us through burning bushes and hazy visions, but not anymore. They've upgraded their equipment and made contact through shortwave radio. Huh? Could be funny, but I don't know. Maybe a biblical quote, but which one? Maybe this God is not even the father of Jesus to begin with. Or maybe I just flown for 5 hours and drove for 3 more into the Galatian countryside, just to meet a senile man who spent too much time listening to the static. Yeah, that's probably gonna be it. Uh-huh. Interesting. Manuel, this is the journalist who came to see you about your machine. Pay attention and be kind to them. I'm not hungry, Remedios. Ooh, I'm gonna butcher some names. Excuse him. As you can see, Don Manuel has trouble focusing and following conversations. But if you are persistent enough, you will see this man is full of wisdom. That is alright, Danya Remedios. Thank you so much for your hospitality. I will handle it from here. Very well. I'll leave you two to it. I'll be tending the cows if you need me for anything. Thank you so much. You better behave, you hear me, Manuel? Why don't you tell this person to behave instead, huh? Last one I came by was a joke of a journalist. Good grief. It's alright, Danya Remedios. I'll be tactful. Who just talked to someone and just called them by their first and last name? That's weird. I'll come back at noon. Thank you. Give me a minute to review my notes and set up my recorder, and we'll begin, Don Manuel. That is weird. I've never gone hunting in my life, even if my father was a fine hunter, or so they say. Haha, that's nice. Okay, Danya Remedios was exaggerating. This may be the trickiest interview I'll ever attempt it. Ooh, okay, what's this? I'll try to get as much interesting information as I can and call it a day when I find out enough to compose an article. Okay, what's over here? Notes. Learn as much as you can from this special radio, how it works, how he made it, etc. Profile, manual, background, career, assess his sanity. Dig as much as you can about the supposed God entity Manuel's contacted with. Try to gain access to the machine. Okay. Is there all these stuff to the right? After how much it took to get here, I'm not leaving empty-handed. Let's question Manuel. Alright. Oh wait, do I actually gotta type it? Or do I click something? Oh, I actually have to type something. Okay, what should I say? Maybe a nice question. How are you? I'm not sure what to say. Well, given my advanced age, my body is a constant source of pain. Oh, that's sad. But my mind has never been clearer. I may be a bit out of touch with reality, lose focus easily, and have trouble following conversations, but mentally speaking, I'm in a permanent state of bliss. I don't know if that's a consequence of fighting God or what, but I'm fine all the time. I feel fine. Okay, Manuel is aware of his signs of dementia. He claims that his mind has never been sharper though. Okay. Maybe I should just type in job so I can know what his career is. Oh, what does this have to do with your job? I've never been a religious man, but somehow we could call this divine inspiration. I mean, there's still a lot of magic we don't understand behind human purpose. What drives us to do the things we do? Is there a secret, an explanation to it? Okay, maybe I should just type in radio. I don't know if the question mark need to be added or not, but I'll put it. Ooh, that music. This tuned up radio over here allows me to speak with God. Why would he talk to someone through a radio? Took me a lifetime to nail down the frequency. Well, it would be wrong to call it a frequency though. It's a combination of frequencies actually, all of them fluctuating. So I had to program several emitters and receivers to stay harmonized. And it still fails from time to time and needs to be recalibrated. Let's say God doesn't like to settle on a wavelength. Okay, something else been added. Mr. Frateria describes the machine as a combination of frequencies, all of them fluctuating. He had to program several emitters and receivers to stay harmonized. Okay, what if I just say God? Haha, in that aspect, we already surpassed the gods as a species. Oh, I mean, that's what you think. Oh, okay. God hasn't managed to make contact with their creators. What? In fact, until we talked, their belief was that they came into existence by the product of chaos after the Big Bang. It was the more logical explanation. There are more entities like God in any case. For what I caught from our conversation, there's something pretty similar to what we call the devil. On God hasn't managed to make contact with their creators. What does that mean? Maybe we should talk about his dementia? Now that I think about it, I think I can nail down in time when this hunger for technology started. From 1950 to 1955, there was this woman, Dolores, who came to live in town. I was in my 20s and I had a predisposition to mess with electronics already by that time. But meeting her and her weird prototypes would spark this lifelong quest in me. I still miss Dolores so much. Some woman named Dolores visited Manuel in the 50s and made a deep impact on him. Let's talk more about her. Dolores. Dolores, what a woman. It was with her that I realized I am asexual. She taught me that word actually. And we're speaking deep Spain in the 50s here. Decades went by until I heard that word used by someone else. Besides self-discovery, the greatest gift I got for her was a bunch of manuscripts that described technology that was yet to come. I don't know if she worked for the government or some top company, but she knew about personal computers way before they got here. Is she like someone from the future? I've devoured those manuals again and again. She usually visited me here and spent whole evenings drinking and talking about the possibilities of encoding information and whatnot. Ahead of her time, that woman. She's my biggest inspiration. It was just after she mysteriously vanished from town that I started working on radios. A mysterious woman named Dolores brought knowledge on pretty advanced technologies to Manuel during the 50s. Mr. Fatira seemed to be pretty fond of her. But I really can't say was he in love with her, cause he seemed like he had no interest in people. I know. Maybe I should just type to see what kind of response he would say to it. Oh, okay, he did. Dolores is the only person I ever loved in my life. Not that we ever had a romance together or anything. I just enjoyed the feeling of loving her in my own way. I never desired her physically, but she was the most beautiful human being my eyes ever laid upon. Although it's been the only person I have ever been able to genuinely communicate with. She shared my hunger for messing with technology and was super interested in my silly experiments. I would have married her if that meant keeping her by my side. Never mustered the courage of offering her marriage without sex, though. Dolores. Dolores meant so much for Manuel. I don't know what else to ask about Dolores. Maybe he's into science. Maybe I should type in science. Let's see what he says to that. Distilling liquors had kept me sane for a long time. It's an art so different to messing with appliances. There is less science to it and more alchemy, more magic. So he believes in magic. You master liquor crafting through sheer experimentation. And it's so fun, even when it goes wrong. I'm not a heavy drinker though, so there's an added pleasure to making liquors. When you come up with a nice batch and share it with your neighbors. A bottle of something nice can always put a smile on the townsfolk. I asked him about science and he started talking about liquor. Okay, he mentioning magic. So he believes in magic? I often dream with a facility with a view to a white rocky landscape. Dreams are never the same, but they have reoccurring characters. There is this doctor with a white lab coat named Fidel Medeiros, who asks me a lot of technical questions that for some reason I'm able to answer. Although the memories of those conversations are always fuzzy. This doctor reminds me of my father for some reason. Sometimes Dolores is around with an elegant office suit. Whenever I find her in a dream, we often end up having a glass of wine at some sort of observatory. Was he being experimented on? Also, no matter how hard I try, I never managed to leave the facility. The times I tried, I happened to sleepwalk and awake in the middle of the forest. And that could be pretty dangerous given my old age, so at some point, I stopped trying. The old man has recurrent dreams set up in some sort of facility. There is some doctor named Fidel Medeiros in there. Manuel seems to be a very knowledgeable person within the dream. Let's talk about Fidel Medeiros. Dr. Fidel Medeiros. I don't know if I ever saw him on TV or what, but for some reason he got stuck in my dreams. It looks like we are working together on something, a project named Second Installment. Okay, so was he a doctor? Or a scientist or something like that? I feel he respects me. He has a lot of questions that I'm able to answer eloquently, and that fills me with pride. His face is pretty familiar to me. Feels like my dad, but not exactly him. Maybe that's him, and since he have dementia, he forgot that he was a doctor or a scientist of some sort, and Dolores maybe was his assistant. We get along really well, like he knows what is going on through my head. Besides that, his presence is a mystery to me. Fidel Medeiros, the doctor in Manuel's dream, reminds him of his father. Has a familiar aura. They're working together on something called Second Installment. Okay, before I ask about that second installment, I should ask about his father. My parents were really worried about me. They thought I developed some kind of obsession. Took them a long time to understand this is what makes my life worth living. But since I was able to make enough money visiting the neighbors and fixing their radios and TVs, in the end they stopped caring. Their only regret is to have died without decency, I guess. But what can I say? I didn't come to this world to continue someone's bloodline. I guess. Okay, let's look at this second installment. That project I kept dreaming with, Second Installment. Can't put my finger on what it's about, since I never remember exactly what my role is in the project. But I seem to be pretty knowledgeable about everything surrounding it, and Dr. Medeiros always comes to me to consult on many technical details. If I really force my brain, I can grab some words instinctively like parametric environment, character translocation, safer vulnerability. All gibberish to me. Tried to look it up actually, found out nothing relevant. On Second Installment, Manuel can't really define what it is. Something about parametric environment, character translocation, safer vulnerability. Seems like a dead end since Mr. Fetero can't recall much more from this subject. Okay, I should have had a piece of paper and wrote down the words I already put in. I don't think I asked about a facility. I've never been a man of faith. Agnostic, if anything. So making contact with God at first blew out of my mind. But a few weeks into, I feel weird saying this. I expected more from God. Well, I'm pretty sure He expected more from you too, but oh well. They don't feel as omnipotent as every culture describes them. Well, I mean, every culture have their different version of their God, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint what is what. I don't know if anything, I feel compassion for them. Maybe we can say something about the 50s. Hello. Oh, hi. Why did you come to my home? Oh, well, I guess he have nothing to say about that. Maybe I should try to talk more about the radio? I'm not sure what to say though. Maybe computer. The thing that shocked me the most is about God's true nature is the role they play in the creation of humankind. It clashes against every myth about the creation of our world. Earth, this planet, already existed before God visited it. They only terraformed it. It's no small feat, don't get me wrong. It's just knowing this all wasn't some grand design. God just kickstarted life as we know it, but couldn't possibly predict what's become of it. God terraformed Earth? Should I dig deeper into this? What should I say? Maybe terraformed Earth. That must be the most groundbreaking discovery I got out of our conversations. Oh, is he talking about ours or with someone else? God didn't create the universe, but they sure did create life on Earth. God has terraforming powers, or should we say capabilities. They pick up a barren rock in the middle of the universe and generate an ecosystem in it by stimulating it electrochemically. They told me the process takes about 1 million years. Then they oversee the early stages of development of species, and when satisfied, God moves on and leaves nature to run its course. Do you know this is the land where they started and finished the process? Galatia is the bit of land in which God first breathed life into Earth, was just a supercontinent. In fact, God forbid me to speak the name of that supercontinent in front of the machine. Well, why don't we move away from the machine and you can speak about it? Said it may trigger some unpredictable developments. Like what? God forbid Manuel to say the name of the original supercontinent? Why? Should I try to say it? It has this peculiar name. How was it called? Ooh, should I look it up? Okay, I looked it up and I forgot the thing was named that. It's called Pangea. Ooh, he might get angry at me. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. Oh no, oh shoot, what the world? Earth Control Unit 7.2 entering maintenance code? He's a robot? What? Error. Cannot access maintenance logs. Warning, 7844Q. BioBrain processor deteriorated. Editing access, journalist Truscotch equals true. What does that even mean? Okay, he's talking about me. Maybe he's trying to trust me? I don't know. Parent journalist trust level. Current trust level 32%. Ask more personal questions to increase. Really? I am not sure what other questions I should ask him. Please contact God Entity and request retrieval. God Entity. Returning to human handler state machine. Robin, you have nothing to say to that? Maybe I don't. That was the most randomest thing I ever seen. I don't know. Maybe God Entity. God hasn't managed to make contact with their creators. What? Okay. What else should I talk about? I don't think I said anything about robots. I wish if I were an android, I wouldn't have these back pains. What are you talking? Your head is just split apart. And you were talking robot language. What? It would surely make my life easier, haha. Stop lying to me. Manuel is not aware of his rare android-like condition. Okay, so she knows. Okay. I guess let's talk about, I don't know, this is random. Back pain? Do you dig poetry? What does this have to do with your back pain? I'm not a great writer myself, but Dolores liked poetry a lot. So as a way to feel closer to her, I tried my hand at writing some. This is one I wrote about 2 decades ago. Fleeting feeling of numbness. Bare wires against an old man's skin. Fleeting cessation of love. Rust, breath, oblivion, nil. What is nil? Manuel digs poetry. Okay, should I talk about nil before poetry before I forget about it? Yeah. I don't know what nil is, but do you have any recurrent dreams? Myself, I have some weird ones. But more than a recurrent dream, I say it's more like a recurrent setting. And I keep visiting it in my dreams. A place that feels out of this world. But I guess you didn't come here to hear me ramble about my night trips. Please go on. What is this about some recurrent dreams? What do you mean what is it about? We already kind of talked about that, but I don't think I finished it. Anyway, let's talk about poetry. Oh, I love poetry. Here's a recent one. Mysterious life form, grand instigator of life. We all from terraformation arise. Forbidden supercontinent, apple to oblivious atom. Sci-fi poetry, huh? Is that popular on the internet? Haha. Okay, he mentioned something about the apple to atom. Maybe I should talk about Adam and Eve? I'm not sure. A terraforming alien energy life form. Who would have guessed, huh? Haha. I don't know what they even meant, man. I'm not sure if I already spoke about this, but what about your dreams? Okay, we already seen this. Okay, he mentioned some kind of right terrain at that facility. Maybe this will be different. Is there something you would like to know about God specifically? No, not really. Didn't we already finish with that? Maybe what about forbidden? What could have I accomplished if my parents ever sent me to the university? What? Okay. What about family? Family, huh? The only family I have left is Remedios. I'm an only son, something I'm sure my parents regretted at some point. My father was pretty strict, nor a really smart person. Simple and obstinate. He only ever cared about hunting and making sure I lived by the proper values, whatever that means. My mother was cold and distant, never really knew how to express love. Not even to me nor my father. But I know she cared that we were all healthy and fine, in her own way. I don't really miss them if you ask me. Oh, well, okay. Manuel's father was dumb and his mother was cold. Pretty picture. Was he ever abused? I'm going to confess something to you. I sometimes overplay my condition a bit, just to not have to deal with dumb stuff like what you just said. Oh, I'm sorry. So if that's what gets you off being my guest, I'll just go ahead and ignore you. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Maybe relatives. Maybe he had like aunts and uncles or something. I don't know. Staring at the moon gets me nostalgic for some reason. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I'm not really sure what else to ask him. Let's look at that Pangea thing again and see how far I got. Oh, really? 75%. Okay. Okay, what else can I ask? What about asexual? I'm not sure. Yes, I am. There's nothing much to tell about it. My parents couldn't really put the finger on what was going on with me. I guess that's why they wanted me to join the church after they gave up on finding someone for me to marry. As if the church was some sort of asexual entity itself. Heh, my butt. But yeah, I'm not interested in either church or that, okay? What about church, I guess? Doña Remedios Cosito Gallego? I'm sorry, I butchered that. It's simply amazing. I hope you can stay for lunch. What about Danya? A terraforming alien technology life form. Who would have guessed, huh? I don't know if I put this already. Programming? I wonder why I keep dreaming about that doctor. Did I ever finish talking about him? Will you let me see the machine? Absolutely, pay attention. Oh, you just let me look at it? Oh, okay. God, are you there? I have a friend with me that wants to hear from you. Do you have any advice for them? What is this? God said, don't worry about the sun. It's not going to grow and engulf you all. What? I am so confused. I can keep it in check. Climate change is real though. You may doom yourselves before I even need to deal with the sun. Okay, what about the sun? Why is that important? Okay, I guess it wasn't important. Ooh, okay, I'm at 89%. I'm close. Okay. That computer had like red eyes. Maybe I should like speak about that. I wonder. Okay, never mind. Okay, what about myself? I don't think that's gonna do anything, but yeah. Is there something you'd like to know about? No, okay. I'm not sure what to put. Okay, what about old? God's favorite representation of them is that flying spaghetti with meatballs monster. Okay. Alright, what about people? I'm just the weird man in the cabin at top of the town. They don't disrespect me to my face, but I know for a fact I'm some sort of recurrent joke around here. Most summers I have kids coming around spying on me, and when I look out the window they run away screaming and laughing. But as long as I keep fixing their TVs and giving them bottles of liquor, families around here treat me well enough. You give kids liquor? The one believes I actually made contact with God, though. On the townspeople, as long as I keep fixing their TVs and stuff, yeah. What about kids? You want to leave already? What? No, I said something about kids. Oh, come on, stay until lunches. Stay until lunch at least. I didn't want to leave. I was talking about children. Maybe I should put children. I don't want to speak more about my family, sorry. This is random. What about animals? In the sense of them not being from this planet. Yes, God is an alien. Oh. God is an extraterrestrial being. I guess. Alien? Yes. What about like Egypt and stuff? Because they have like pictures of spaceships and stuff in their drawings. Oh, I'm somehow happy to know there is no afterlife. Oh, okay. What about this interview though? A terraforming alien energy life form. Who would have guessed, huh? Are you? Well, I don't think you are, but I'm still gonna ask. Are you married? Dolores is the only person I ever loved. Okay. Oh, okay. I put in Pangea. I'm at 100% now. Okay, what's gonna happen? Returning to human handler state machine. Wait, what? That's it? Is that it? It's 100%. I thought there was something was gonna happen. Oh, I typed in wire. He's saying I'll just give you an overview because I have yet to decide it is safe to share this technology with the world. God does not have a corporate form, but from time to time, they come to our planet to check on things. So communication is not always possible, at least not within a shortwave system I devised. Maybe with the proper technology, we could even speak with them wherever they go, when they leave for outer space. Basically, this is a multi-radio system that emits and receives from over 300 different frequencies that constantly change in a huge variety of sinuous pseudo, I'm not sure how to say that word, patterns. If you nail down God's harmonies, you can emit a message and also receive answers. I'm not ready to disclose how these sensual patterns work though. Manuel also claims God doesn't have a corporate form, but that they're not always around. What about their corporal form? What do you mean? I don't know. If you're asking about faith, I don't need it. I made contact. It'd be as if someone asked me if I believe you exist. We're just having a conversation, friend. That makes us both exist. I think. In any case, before making contact, I've always considered myself agnostic. Manuel never believed in God prior to his discovery. Yeah, I know that. He told me several times. I don't think I ever asked him about being agnostic yet. I think it's liberating, really, to know life doesn't have a meaning. I mean, it has a meaning if you give it one. Okay, what about humanity? I don't know if I asked that already. I don't know about happy, but I'm sure God is amused with what happened here on Earth. For what I picked up from our conversations, I don't think good or evil are concepts they dwell on. For God, watching humans killing each other makes the same for them that what it's like for us to watch a nature documentary. But they are for sure surprised by the level of sentience we acquired in just a million of years. God is surprised. What about Cosmos? That's right, God has terraforming capabilities and they kickstarted life on this planet. And remember, never speak the name of the original continent. Well, I've typed it in several times and you were at 100%. I mean, I'll do it again. See, his head split open, that thing come out, and it said this. And trust level 100%. I'm not sure what else I should do. Okay, maybe I just say you're a robot. I'm not a robot friend. I wish you are. Your head split open. I don't use drugs, but I don't mind if you do. I am not on drugs, okay? Just try not to drive crazier than I already am, friend. I wanna go home. Let me go home. Staring at the no, I don't want to stare at the moon. I don't even know what's happening. I've been playing this game for an hour. Okay, what about pets? Do you have pets, sir? I love to drill on this poetry stuff, but let's focus on the topic at hand. What is it? I'm not sure what the topic is. Topic, tell me what it is. What could I... That's why you keep talking about your parents and university. Okay, what about university? What could I... Okay, how long did it take for you to build a machine? That's a tricky question. I'm a radio aficionado myself, and I was trying to come up with ways to encrypt my communications to the government, so the government wouldn't pick up on my conversations. As I started working on this polymorphic, multi-layered transmission system, I found out someone was already working on a system similar to mine. So I decided to try and match this weird sinusoidal gibberish on the airwaves. And it happened to be God. I wasn't even looking for them. We could write this stuff off as a miracle, if you may. Maybe it was God who inspired me to work on this to begin with. I discovered God is not as omnipotent as many cultures paint them, but they still have their ways. Manuel found God on the airways accidentally while trying to design an encryption method to avoid being spied on by the government. What about can I speak to God? Alright, you look like a decent person. Let me power up the machine. Ooh, okay. Salutations, human entity. Okay. Manuel finally let someone else communicate with us. Before we start a conversation, we need to know, what do you feel about God? God is love and life. Our data shows that it is extremely healthy for human entities to profess feelings of love and gratitude. Your psyche will benefit from these thoughts. And speaking about existing in this time and age as a human entity, what do you enjoy the most about the human experience? What do I enjoy? To be honest, I'm not really sure what I enjoy about the human experience. I guess I'm not sure if this is a good answer, but meeting people with similar experiences as me. Yeah, I'll go with this, I guess. Interesting. We wish we could be contained into a human entity brain processor to be able to experience such things. In a way, you are privileged. I am. As a means to improve your experience as a human entity, we are going to offer you a gift. And just one word. Only one word. What would you like us to remove from reality? Just name it. Choose one word and we shall remove it from your world. What would you like us to remove from reality? Ooh, there's a lot of things. Can I say disease? It don't have to be a specific one, right? Like if you got rid of all the disease on the earth, I think people will be a lot happier and less angry all the time. And then more people would be sad and have to deal with loss. So I'll go with diseases. A thoughtful decision. Eliminating sickness from your world. We shall grant your request. Oh, what? I'm a robot too, what? Overriding access to Earth Comms Unit 8.4.1, entering maintenance mode. This is weird. Blocking perception of reality. What? Disease. Parameter deleted from database. Resetting a counter, reconfiguring world narrative, coherence factor. Returning to human handler state machine. What happened? Wait, hold on. Before I read what he said, but the notes change. He still has dementia. The incredible machine he claimed he made is that he's made but a very elaborate and innovative Christmas tree. Just old appliances stuck together forming an amusing display of lights. I recommend to not follow up on this story to avoid bringing uncomfortable attention to a senile old man. Remember to buy some pimentos for Emmerich. Did they just erase my memory of this? That's messed up. They don't want to be discovered. Wherever that is. Okay, let me get back to him. What just happened? Oh, don't worry about it, Mr. Fred Tear. I have more than enough for my article. Let's see if my editors have a spot on the next issue for your story. Please take care. You're not even staying for lunch? Sorry, gotta run if I want to make it in time to the airport. Okay. What? Whatever that was, it basically erased my memory. So I guess it won't be discovered. Like I was getting too smart for it, and it decided to be like, oh, we gotta change that, and they erased it. Oh, that was cool. I really enjoyed Interview with the Whisperer. If you guys enjoyed that, I hope you did. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It will really help me out. And that's really all I have to say. Bye, guys. See you next time.